Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial from the world of Kill Team 40k. Yes, we are back with Shadowhunt, and we're painting the all-new Murderwing Kill Team, which is a fantastic name for the new Raptors / Warp Talons kit, basically, which Games Workshop very kindly sent me earlier as part of the Shadowhunt Kill Team box. And, well, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting them. Now, the box art, they are painted as Night Lords. But we've done that before. So if you want to know how to paint them as Night Lords, you can go and check out our Nemesis Claw video. But this time what we're going to do, because I'm a bit inspired by recent goings-on with the releases, I'm interested in doing some Red Corsairs. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to paint these guys up as Red Corsairs. We're going to be doing the Jump Lord and we're going to be doing the 5 Raptors at the same time. We will do all of the demon stuff, all of that good stuff, just as it is on the box art. So if you want to replicate the box art for those things, you absolutely can do so using this video. So without further ado, let's jump in and let's start painting. So the colour we're going to be using first is Baal Red. Now, as far as I can tell, over our Grey Seer primed miniatures, from all of the stuff I've seen of the Red Corsairs, there's a bit of sort of, well, bit of a piecemeal attitude towards where the red is placed. But for the most part, it's going to be over the top of the greaves on the legs. Here. Like this sort of thing. It's going to be over the top of the chest plate. It's going to be over the top of the arms. And I'm pretty sure, based on the picture that I'm looking at, it's also going to be over the top of... No, that's completely wrong. Ignore me. So we're just going to go for those places. Do we go over the back of the leg as well? We might as well. We'll go over the back of the leg as well. So with the Baal Red, we're just going to apply this over the top of those areas. And then once that's done, we'll come back. So with all that Baal Red applied, we actually did also opt to apply some of the Baal Red over the top of the fins on the Raptors and on the armor paneling on the top and on the bottom of the backpacks. So we did end up doing that in the end. What we're going to do now is we're going to take some Flesh Tearers Red and we're going to apply this over the top. So with that Flesh Tearers Red all applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion. And this brush is going to make an appearance, apparently. There we go. What we're going to do next with the Black Legion is basically apply this over top of almost everywhere that remains on the armour. So we're going to be applying this over top of the remaining armour panels, such as the boots and the thighs and the helmets and stuff. But we're also going to be applying this over top of all of the trim. And we're going to apply this over top of the gaps and soft joints in all the armour. So with all of that Black Legion applied, and it is a lot of Black Legion, and what we're going to do now is move on. I'm going to move on to all of the leather, what little there is, and we're going to take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to apply this over the top. So there's going to be belts and stuff like the wraps and things on the grips of any weapons. So with that all done, our next job is to take a roughly 2 parts Reikland Fleshshade to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. And we're going to apply this over top of all the flesh. Now I'm doing this on the Curse Claw here because he's got the most amount of flesh. But this is going to apply to our Chaos Lord's head as well. And any other bear heads. Or you can do something completely different for the bear heads, but this is the recipe I'm going with. Whilst we wait for that Reikland Fleshshade to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Gryph-Charger Grey and we're going to apply this over top of any cloth. So now whilst we wait for that to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Dark Angel's Green. I'm going to apply this over top of any smooth cables. So with that now done, just over the top of the Curse Claw, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Targor Rageshade. And we're going to apply this over the top of all of his flesh. And sticking with the Curse Claw, because this only applies to him, we're going to take a little bit of Volupus Pink and we're going to apply this over the top of the inside of his mouth, the tongue and the teeth. And again, because it only applies to him, what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 colours: Athonian Camoshade, Reikland Fleshshade and Gryph-Charger Grey. I'm going to apply this over top of all the severed heads on his hip. So we start with some Athonian Camoshade, and we just blob this in there. Like so. Like that. Then we wash the brush, grab some Reikland Fleshshade, and just add a little bit of this here and there. that. And then we wash the brush and grab some Gryph-Charger Grey. Do the same thing. With that all done, we're then going to take some Space Wolves Grey and we're going to apply this over top of the Gryph-Charger Grey cloth. With that all done, our Targor Rageshade should be dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it roughly 2 parts Black Templar to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. We're going to apply this over top of the large spike. And what we're going to do here is we're going to apply this like so, going all the way along. Then we're going to wash the brush, touch off the water, and then we're going to blend it like that. And we're going to do the same thing over the little horn on our Chaos Lord's head. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Skeleton Horde. And we're going to apply this over top of the little teeth trophies down here on our Lord's belt assembly. But obviously we're also going to apply this over top of the skulls. So with that all done, believe it or not, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors and we're going to apply this over top of the vast majority of everything that remains. In fact, you could just apply this over top of everything that remains and then add some alternate metallic a little bit later once this is all done. We're mostly looking for things like anything heavy and mechanical, mostly anything spiky like that. And so on and so forth. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass. And we're going to apply this to a couple of little decorative areas. So this is going to be things like the little oval gem on the belt. Just here like that. We've got a couple of super mechanical details as well, which is things like the big canister on their backs on the jump packs. But what we're also going to do is we're going to apply this over top of any decorative trim that is trim on trim. So if you've got like something that looks like it's sort of belongs on top of some other trim, like for example we could apply it over the top of this skull in here on the shoulder. And on the claws as well. So with that all done, it's now time to add some shades. And the first of these is going to be some Agrax Earthshade. It's going to be a little bit complicated here. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply the Agrax Earthshade over the top of any kind of industrial metal and of course any Runelord Brass. So the industrial metal is going to be things like the backpack, and it's going to be the sort of cabling stuff and all that good stuff. But what we are going to leave is weapons, and we're also going to leave the trim, because the trim is going to be silver, but it's going to be highlighted silver. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Nuln Oil. And we're going to apply this over the top of all the remaining silver and all of the black trim and black armour. So with that all done, as you can see, our Murderwing are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. They're looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave them there. No, we're going to take them to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some highlights. Now, the first of these is going to be the big one. We're going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. We're going to use this to highlight most of the miniature. So we're going to be using this Ironbreaker to highlight all the silver, but also crucially, we're going to be using this to highlight all of the black trim. So with all of that silver highlighted and that black trim all highlighted with silver, as you can no doubt tell, huge amounts of the model are already now finished. So it's looking absolutely fantastic. So it's now just kind of a case of we're going to clean up some of the other details, and there aren't as many of those now as we go along. So apologies for making you do the silver first, but get it out of the way and you're most of the way there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Wild Rider Red, and we're going to use this to highlight all the red. So with that red all highlighted, we're then going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the black details that aren't, of course, obviously, the trim. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Emperor's Children. I'm going to use this to highlight the Curse Claw's tongue. And then next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of thinned down Moot Green. I'm going to use this to highlight all the cables and pick out their eye lenses. With that all done, we then want to take a teensy tiny little bit of Black Legion. I'm going to use this over top of the eyeballs of our Lord. And so with that all done, we then take the teensiest tiniest little dot of Screaming Skull and we apply this in the corners of the eyeballs. Just like that sort of thing. But what we're also going to do with the Screaming Skull is we're going to use this to highlight these two little teeth, the many big teeth on the Curse Claw, and the skulls. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is take some thinned down Canoptek Alloy. I'm going to use this to highlight the brass. So with that all done, there's just two things left to do, one of which is to take some Gryph-Hound Orange, and we're going to apply this over top of the gem on his tummy, like that, and I'm going to apply it over top of this eye lens up here, like that. And with that all done, we then take some blood for the blood god, and we're going to apply this into the neck stumps on these trophies down here. Like that. And if you want to, you can also just kind of stipple a little bit more onto the actual heads themselves. And one final thing, we're also going to take some Nuln Oil and we apply this over top of the smoke on the base. But otherwise the base is going to be done exactly the same way as we normally do, with a bit of Sterling Mud, a dry brush of Tyrant Skull, and some black Templar for all the rocks. And there we have it, with our bases now complete in the same style as we always do things, as we've already mentioned. Our Red Corsairs Murderwing Kill Team is now finished. I really like this recipe. I think that red is absolutely spectacular and I absolutely love it. And well, whilst it's a little bit fiddly, the fact that that Ironbreaker highlight just does so much work for it is really encouraging. Cannot wait for more Red Corsairs. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.